Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Now to dive straight in, today's video is going to be briefly explaining the controversial nature of the Jurassic Park 3 quick-fire showdown between the Tyrannosaurus and the overtly powerful mistake and force of nature creation by Indian, the Spinosaurus. I feel this is something that needs to be talked about from a different angle because I believe the majority of videos and topics based on this issue is mainly negative regarding how it should never have happened, especially as quickly as it did. The fight didn't last what, no longer than 10-20 seconds or something like that. To be honest, from that perspective, and because it is a tyrannosaur, I can understand the kind of disappointment. However, it's precisely because of that that I thought it would be quite interesting to look from a different perspective and to try to somewhat justify why I think that the killing of the T-Rex by the Spinosaurus should not have been seen as controversial, or at the very least as negatively as it was. From one perspective, I believe it was definitely a case of giving fans something new and not to recycle what they had been doing from the previous Jurassic films. We actually see this a lot in a lot of other movie franchises, and by the way, we do complain about when we don't see something new and original. And well and truly, Jurassic Park should be no different in that regards. We obviously saw a lot of T-Rex action in both the Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park: The Lost World. So I guess people thought that they thought people wouldn't mind if they saw like a different dinosaur antagonist. Heck, they initially even changed the Jurassic logo from a T-Rex to a Spinosaurus. I'm not too sure if a lot of people noticed, but they did. Um, to be able to kind of let the audience know that what was going on and that this thing was now going to be taken over from the T-Rex. The filmmakers of Jurassic Park 3 really needed to ensure that the audience would take the Spinosaurus seriously, and the best way to do that was to probably kill off another alpha. Yes, they could have done it a different way. They could have had it kill dinosaurs like an Allosaurus, a Carnotaurus, a Baryonyx, heck, or even an adult-sized Dilophosaur. However, let's be real. In order to actually make a statement about a new monster in town, there only really needs to be one true way to do it, and that would actually have to be what is to kill, what you'd basically see as the king of the monsters themselves, the T-Rex, which is obviously the most popular dinosaur out there. I mean, let me not lie, I would be able to understand people's frustrations if they decided to use Rexy, for example, from JP1 as a Jurassic Joba, to illustrate the spinal strength. Heck, even the buck and the doe from the JP2 wouldn't deserve that kind of treatment. It would actually be quite disrespectful in my eyes, and I do believe if they did go that route, then boy, I do feel that even in Jurassic World, they probably would have had to have that rematch in order to cover the tears of everyone everywhere. Now, if I'm correct, based on what I have seen, I do believe in the early draft of the movie there was supposed to be a Spinosaurus and a T-Rex rematch. I don't know if that was Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, or Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I do believe, however, that was it was there somewhere. But anyways, back to the main point. In terms of what the company opted to do, despite it being somewhat controversial to many people, I believe filmmakers did achieve what it intended to, in terms of getting people talking and debating that scene. And as a result, and for all intent and purposes, the Spino is in fact as popular, or at least has a major cult following, because of the infamous neck snap, which, man, to me is one of the most beautiful and brutal dinocles in any Jurassic movie ever. And sorry guys, but I'm gonna have to admit I did love it, and I do always rewind it when I see it. Yeah, and because of that, because of the popularity and the cult following, I do believe it would have led to toys and other merchandise sales. So even from a certain business perspective, I do feel the business, they basically did what they had to get what they wanted. And this is like regardless of what fans think. I will say this, however, that I do believe that since the Rex in JP3 was really a sub-adult or a juvenile, whatever you want to call it, maybe the filmmakers didn't think that people wouldn't mind so much, as if, like I said earlier, if it was Rexy from JP1 or the Buck and the Doe from The Lost World, then maybe there would have been an uproar. But because it was just another younger T-Rex, they thought people wouldn't mind and cared. But alas, they were wrong. But for me, because it seemed like a random T-Rex that was obviously utilized just as a jobber or a play toy for the Spinosaurus, personally, I don't think it should be taken as seriously, in my opinion. And another point, anyway, I'd like to make is that as much as we love T-Rexes, They are awesome, they are legendary, they are effectively the king of the dinosaurs. Let's not forget that they are not indestructible. They can be killed by other creatures. And unfortunately for that sub-adult, it came across something that was unfortunately bigger, badder, and had more teeth. So it shouldn't exactly be surprising that it was dispatched as easily as it was, in my opinion. To be fair to the many of the critics of the scene who are also potentially holding out for a rematch at some point, possibly in Jurassic World Dominion, I guess the criticism regarding this scene could lead to the epic rematch, as many films have also shown like they do cave into fan pressure. Now, for example, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if anyone has seen Deep Blue Sea, which starred Samuel L. Jackson and LL Cool J, you guys remember the epic death scene of Jackson's character, which I don't care what anyone says is probably one of the most legendary kills out there. Although for this example, for this video, it's not what I was going to talk about, but I just thought I needed to mention it. However, the example I will use was LL Cool J himself, who was supposed to bite the dust ahead of the idiotic woman who created the nightmarish scenario in the first place. However, due to angry fan reaction at early screenings, the studio decided to change it prior to its public release, and thus LL Cool J made it out alive, and the woman sacrificed herself for everybody else. Thank God for that. So what this example does show is that fans can influence studio decisions, and who knows, maybe if this had happened at an early screening of JP3, things could have ended up very differently. However, I'm not so sure, simply because of how much trouble and problems the filmmakers had already faced up to that point during the production of the movie. So for them to now face this other problem now so soon, I don't think it was going to happen. Anyways, everyone, these are just some of the reasons as to why the Spinosaurus killing the T-Rex shouldn't, in my opinion, be seen as controversial or seen in such a negative light, in my opinion. And here's the question anyway, for you guys, to anyone that else is still insisting that the Spiny killing the T-Rex was wrong. Do you guys think that if the film itself was at least half as good as any of the other Jurassic movies, that the controversial fight should, and would have been overlooked and not caused as much of a debate over the years as it has and still does to this day? As you know, in a lot of other movies, a negative can usually be somewhat forgotten about, mostly if the vast majority of the film was quality and it did satisfy the audience. So do you think this also applies to Jurassic Park 3? So yeah, whatever your thoughts, guys, please leave the comments below, and I would love to debate it with you guys further. If you enjoyed the video and think I deserve it, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll be back with some more interesting movie content. Anyways, guys, please take care, and I'll see you soon.